Now that we have looked into labels and using them for referencing, let us now look into some errors that we might encounter while using labels. The first thing is, what if we refer to a label that does not exist? Let me just say, please take a look at and provide a reference section does not exist. So this label does not exist. So what happens in such cases? If I recompile, on recompiling, we can see that our reference command is replaced by question marks. And if we take a look at our logs, it says reference to this particular label is undefined. You have referenced something which has not yet been labeled. This undefined reference is a warning. A warning is indicated by a yellow triangle. A warning is a way of telling LaTeX, hold up a minute, even though you're not violating my syntax, what you have done is something not right. I would still recommend not to ignore your warnings. Take a look and fix them whenever possible. As you can see from this, imagine you're writing a large PDF and you have made a typo in your label. It is very hard to hunt for these double question marks. And it is not nice to have random question marks in your document. That is why always take a look at your logs and outputs, go through the warnings and fix them whenever possible. Do not ignore them blindly. Let me go ahead and comment out this line so I don't have warnings due to an undefined label. The next scenario that I would like to explore is what happens when we have duplicate labels. Say I have two sections, another section, and then a subsection called another subsection. Let me go ahead and assign a label, say another. And even this subsection gets the same label as another. Let's go ahead and recompile. We still have two warnings. If we click on it, we get the warning as label another is multiply defined. What it says is you have used the same label more than once. Now, why is it a problem to use duplicate labels? To understand this, let's now use this label in a reference. To do that, let's go to line 64 and type in, for more information on our algorithm, refer autoref another. Recompile. Our label another is now actually replaced with a reference to the subsection 2.1. So if you see this 2.1 here, so our label another is pointing to this particular subsection. What if I'm trying to reference this particular section and not the subsection? Now, if you have multiply defined labels, what happens is LaTeX does not know which particular item you're referring to. By default, it just uses the last entity that was associated that particular label. Now, in this case, it's just across sectional units. However, it can happen across figures. So, for instance, you can have a section called stats, and you could have a figure also called stats. Right? Both of them have the same label called stats. Now, if I have autoref, I'll be like, for a pictorial representation, refer to stats, and then this will be a clickable reference to section. That time it doesn't make sense, right? Because what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to refer the figure. However, LaTeX, because of duplicate labels and say the section comes after the figure, it is referring to the section itself. And it's a problem because like people will click on that particular link or like will try to go and refer to that particular numbering and they'll get confused. This is where adding a prefix to your label reduces the probability that you will end up with a duplicate label. In such a case, having a prefix of SEC and FIG reduces that you will give the same name to two different entities. This does not eliminate the chance of duplicate labels completely, it reduces the probability of it. Let's go ahead and add some prefixes to it. SEC, and to this section, compile. Now I'm still getting two warnings, even though I fixed the duplicate label. Can you guess why I'm getting this warning? Your hint is in the output PDF. So if you see here, you have question mark, question mark. Note that there is no longer a label called another, because we have added prefixes and created an entirely new label, right? So if I go check my warnings, I will see that there is no reference called another defined. What I can now do is I can say, okay, I want to refer to the section called another. So that's why I'll add the prefix SEC. Now that particular label exists. So if I compile, I hopefully should get no errors. Perfect. I have no errors and I am now referring to the section as what I intended it to be.